Hi, and welcome to Pillow Talk with Angela. We have a very special treat for you, especially if you think you want to own your own business, if you want to rev up whatever it is that you're doing in your life, I guess more particularly your business life, or if you just want to be entertained by a really good television show. Ladies and gentlemen, she's an entrepreneur. She is definitely a boss, and she's the star of her own television show. I couldn't wait to see her. I believe we've met before. I'm going to see if she remembers me. Put your hands together for Nicole Walters.
Hello, Angela. I'm so glad to be here.
So glad you're here. Now, I could be mistaken, but I think we might have met a few years ago. So I'm based in the Washington, D.C. area, and I know you're from here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I am.
There is this annual event. It's called Ubiquitous.
Yes, right. That's where we met. Yes.
Oh my God. I was like, she probably doesn't even remember, but I remember
absolutely.
it was so emotional because you remembered me from my TV show.
That's right.
And I wasn't even sure it was you, but when I saw your face on the television show, I was like, oh, I know her.
Yes, I'm actually trying not to be awkward and fangirl a little bit, like again. So I'm like, no, now I'm going to be normal this time so that she can meet me and I'll be normal this time.
No, don't be normal. I mean, I think we were literally in tears when we first met.
It's just, I grew up, like your voice, like there's just so many memories, you know? So yeah, just all good things.
My heart. Well, you know what? Now I'm going to fan out because I love what you do. And, you know, I just happened upon your TV show, just channel surfing. And, you know, I've never heard of a docu-comedy series until I read the description of your show.
Yeah, that's definitely what this is. It's just keeping track of a normal, relatable family and kind of what they're doing every day. But we're really funny. That's kind of what ended up happening. I think that at first they may not have even been looking for a funny show, but once the cameramen started cackling, I knew we were on to something.
That's a good giveaway. So for those who have yet to see the show, give them an idea of what to expect. I mean, you know, I'm, again, channel surfing. I thought, when I first looked at it, I thought, okay, this is a scripted, you know, just a regular comedy. But then it became apparent it wasn't. So give us kind of an overview.
Of course. So She's the Boss is all about really just trying to manage it all. And I think it's so relatable because so many of us are actually living a version of my life, right? Where you are a working mom trying to balance the kids. You've got a crazy best friend. You've got, you know, a husband who may be the opposite of your personality. And She's the Boss is that. It's filming our family, going through everyday life stuff, college, boyfriends, business, you name it, and all the funny happenings in between, because nothing happens like normal in my household. Not one thing.
And especially these days during a pandemic.
Oh, you better believe it. Yeah, it's even crazier now with the kids home.
You've got a lot of people in your house.
A lot of Eddie counts as multiple people. My assistant counts as a lot of people.
Hilarious. So, you know, this is Pillow Talk, and I want to just talk about the relationship side of everything that you're doing. And then I want to go into how you're helping so many people become wealthy in ways that they had no idea that they could. Okay, so first, the Pillow Talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's do it. So, you know, the topic is, you know, it's Women's History Month, National Women's History Month. And there are a lot of women who have been holding it down, just really discovering their power, owning their power. And they run into trouble sometimes when they get home because oftentimes it's difficult for men to be able to roll with a woman who is used to calling the shots.
Yeah.
And so talk about just the importance of having a husband who is supportive and maybe some ways that you kind of help him be that guy for you.
Yeah, no, so this is great because, and this is why I'm so excited to chat with you about it. I don't get a lot of questions about this, but I'm sure people wonder because, you know, I give off strong woman energy, right? There's no, you know, if, ands, and buts about it. The show is called She's the Boss. But the truth is, I wouldn't be here without my husband. You know, I mean, he truly is, I always joke, I'm the gas and he's the brakes, so he helps me kind of balance out where I could go careening off the side. He tempers that. So that dynamic is something that I do really honor in our household. The way we describe it is I may be the CEO, but he's the CFO or the COO. So we're both C-suite. We are running this jointly, but using our respective gifts to ensure that our family is successful. And I think that is the balance.
That is the balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you're running it jointly.
Yes.
So tell me about your kids. You say that you've adopted 3 beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
How did that whole thing come about and how's it going?
Oh my gosh. So that would be an example of the gas and the brakes situation. So, both me and my husband grew up in DC. So I grew up in Adams Morgan. He grew up in the Rockville area, right? But I ended up going to Hopkins. So we moved to Baltimore, and that was where we met our girls. So we met our girls panhandling on the side of the street in Baltimore. And their mother, unfortunately, was going to be incarcerated shortly thereafter. So in mentorship, that very quickly within 30 days moved into mommyhood, because that was what was required in that moment. And in talking about relationship dynamics, I'm blessed because I have a husband who's just kind of, let's do the next right thing. Let's do the next right thing. And I'm really blessed because that meant being there for the girls completely. And so here we are. And that's what's great about the show is you're seeing the dynamic of a family that was made in kind of an unorthodox way, right? It's relatable because you realize we're just like every other family, but we're also an adoptive family and older kids, and we're interracial and we're interfaith, and we have this random nanny, everyone can see a little bit of their own story in ours.
It definitely works. Congratulations on that. And how did it even come about? One day I'm seeing you at Ubiquitous doing your thing and being super fabulous. And the next thing is I'm turning on my television and Nicole Walters.
I know. It was the craziest thing. So I'd always been sharing, my story online, but the story I was always sharing, back in the DC time, with, Jermaine and, everyone knows Jermaine in DC. So, right.
The whole Ubiquitous thing, done it for years. She is definitely a boss.
Absolutely. She is the boss. So, I was sharing, that journey, which was sort of me building out a business of my own, around beauty and brands and things like that, as well as, being married to this funny guy and having a good time. And I always shared those things out loud online. And so when I started mentoring the girls, that was just a natural extension of the story. It wasn't that unusual, and at least to me, and then once I quit my, 9-to-5 job and decided to launch into entrepreneurship full time, that was a natural extension of the story. But little did I know, someone's always watching, and producers reached out soon thereafter and said, hey, look, this is incredible. People need this story, especially now more than ever before. Let us bring it to the air. And we were like, all right, let's do it.
Nicole, listen, your story is so phenomenal. And I read where, you're being so humble and glossing over how the whole thing happened. This woman was on Periscope, I believe, and coaching people and telling them do this. Did you quit your job on Periscope in front of 10,000 people?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I did do that. Yeah, so I, again, trying not to fangirl, I tell you, if I wasn't this brown, I'd be bright red right now. So,
I'm so proud of you, girl.
Call me out, why don't you?
Oh my gosh. Just the belief in oneself. It's like, look, I'm going to do this. If that's not a step out on faith, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I was going all out there. It was, I always joke, I was kind of burning the bridge behind me so I wouldn't go back running across it.
Nope, won't be going back there.
That's it. There's no place to go, So, but that's what happened. I'd been tracking my journey of entrepreneurship online, for so long that it just really seemed authentic for me to not just say, hey, I'm just quitting my job. Oh yeah, it was fine. Because frankly, for a lot of people, that's their scariest moment. It's how will I leave one life and step into another completely? And being able to share that just felt very true to who I am. And of course, I did it in a classy way. I was raised right. It wasn't messy, but I did it. And I think for a lot of people, it was empowering and freeing. I know it was for me.
quite empowering. And, if I can share, I did the same thing. I used to be in sales in radio for years, but kind of on both sides of the fence. I was always doing voiceovers and really wanted to get on the talent side. One day I was making six figures as a salesperson, doing really, the money was so seductive, which is why
it is. It's tempting.
But then, I was at a crossroads and something happened where I was like, you know what? Maybe this is a sign from God that it's time to go. The general manager said, listen, the door's always open. And I said, thank you, but I think I'm good.
I think I'm good. And I mean, you get it in a way that I think a lot of people may not. I've spent so much of my life dedicated and giving of my gifts to another effort. What would it look like for me to take 1 year? Just 1 year and try on myself, because oftentimes we feel like when we quit our job that we can't go back. But no, you know how to do your job already. You whatever job you're in right now, it's not your first job, so you can get another one, right?
With your hands behind your back.
That's right. It's like bet on yourself for a year. If it doesn't work out, run right back if you got it. But if it does work out, can you imagine the life you'd have? And so I'm just glad that it worked out, and it still is.
And this life, I was looking at some of the things you do. You really get people to believe in themselves and to figure it out. You give, I guess, basically a roadmap, if you will, for someone who goes to your website. And one of the things, it's like $1,000 a week or a month or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can tell you a little bit about that. So, I mean, what I found is that a lot of people, when they are starting their businesses, have apprehension about really going for it. They may have a lot of confidence around, like, I have a product or I have a skill set that I can sell. So, with you, you're like, I've got a voice, and you do. You have a voice that has raised us. You know what I mean? Like, so you have this incredible voice, and other people may have a great product or skincare or something of that sort. And the issue becomes you're passionate about your product, but you feel insecure about the process. And unfortunately, for so many entrepreneurs, they stop right there because it makes them question their gifts. It's why they stay in the job longer. It's why they don't sell as much, because they say to themselves, I don't really know if I know how to do any of this stuff out there. And the truth is, you're not supposed to know how, right? You're not supposed to. You are excellent at your gift, and I'm excellent at corporate strategies and business. So I can teach you how to do the legal. I can teach you how to do the financials, how to do the books. I can point you to the resources you need for sales, marketing, and branding. And with my support and your great gift, you can generate revenue that will feed you, sustain you, and build a legacy. And that's what I do every day.
My goodness. I mean, the timing is absolutely perfect. And especially with people rebooting, this has been a year of reset, right? I mean, people who, maybe they're close to having the epiphany that you and I had.
Yes. Oh, it's happening. Yeah. I mean, think about this. We've got people who have been home forever, may have started dabbling a little bit more, and now they're realizing, hey, the world's starting to reopen a bit. Do I really want to go back in office? My kids do great when I'm home, or, little things like that. And so it's been amazing to work with a lot of these Main Street entrepreneurs who are saying, e-commerce worked great for me. I never want to manage a building ever again. I don't want to manage employees, And then I've got these people who are like, I never started anything, but you know what? I don't want to go back to work. I mean, my business is booming because everyone wants to build a business, Exactly.
This is like, it couldn't get any better for you. This is so perfect. And I love it. I mean, especially for women, do you find that women are a little bit more reluctant to ask for what they're worth and for, to get out there and really make that business work? And then if that is the case, what do you tell them? How do you help them get over that hurdle?
So that comes up more than any other. I can honestly say women, particularly Black women, they're becoming entrepreneurs at a rate of 9 times the average American.
Wow.
So yeah, it's tremendous. Entrepreneurship is something that we lean into. And unfortunately, I think a lot of that is born of a difficult place where, we meet the glass ceiling a little further. Despite our accomplishments and accolades, we're the most degreed of any,
the best. You've got
that's right. It's the truth, statistically. So what happens is, we see that glass ceiling and we're like, you know what, we'll do our own thing, and that's a wonderful thing to happen. But we are also we lack the most funding. We lack the most educational support in entrepreneurship. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to stand in the gap. But what I found is while working in that gap, charging what we're worth is where we struggle. We're just like, will people buy from us? Is that appropriate? We get used to doing free for our friends and our cousins and all that jazz.
You're worn out by the time you've done all the figures. You're like,
doing free to bankruptcy. Okay. Like, I'm not okay with that.
No, it's not good. So, Nicole, for people who are watching this and they're right with you, they want to do this, they haven't figured it out, haven't been able to, ask for anything near what they're really worth and what they could actually get by asking. Some people think I don't want to ask because then that's going to mess the whole thing up and then they're going to go to somebody else. Well, if they're going to go to somebody else who's super cheap, let them do that. Tell them, let them do that. Yes. And call Nicole. I know. How do they do it? How do they get your services, follow you on social media and all that good stuff?
Well, if you want to work with me, you can find me all over social media at Nicole Walters. And you can visit NicoleWalters.com. But on a simple level, it's easy to charge your worth as long as you're set up correctly. So if you do the things that make you feel like a business, well, guess what? When you act like one, you get paid like one. And that's what I love to help people do, is just turn from that hobbyist behavior to some of that professional behavior that really allows you to charge what you're worth. And Black women are out there doing worthy work, and we deserve it. So I'm excited to help with that process.
I love it. It sounds like what She's the Boss is saying is be the boss.
Be the boss. That's right.
Okay, that's going to be the theme. That's the theme of the day.
Yes.
Nicole, you are just absolutely wonderful. And for people who have not seen it, your television show, tell us the days and how they can watch it.
Absolutely. So She's the Boss airs every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time on USA Network. So definitely tune in. It is so, so good.
It is so, so good. Watch it. I mean, it is not, I like some reality shows, but all reality shows are a guilty pleasure.
This is true.
And so She's the Boss is it's kind of a reality show, kind of a docu-comedy series. It's not ratchet.
Yes.
It's good for you.
It's wholesome and positive, and it's family friendly. And I think that's a nice little refreshing break for all of us.
That's really awesome. Nicole, keep being amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for remembering me.
Are you kidding me? Thank you so much. I'm trying to keep it together. I'm like, God, this really just happened. I would tell my mom. I was like, I think I'm doing such a good job. Okay.
You're amazing. Keep soaring.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That was Nicole Walters. Make sure you support her. This young lady is going places. I mean, she's up there in the stratosphere now, but she's going even higher. And if you get a chance, follow her on social media. She just might be able to help you with your business. I'm Angela Stribling. Thank you so much for watching us on Pillow Talk with Angela. See you next time.